Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. This time, we're taking a trip to the beautiful island of Koh Samui.
Beautiful is right. Sounds like paradise.
It really does. But before we get into the details of Koh Samui, have you ever heard of the nearby island Phuket?
I have, but I've definitely heard it pronounced a few different ways.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's Phuket, not Phuket, just in case anybody out there was wondering.
Good to know.
Anyway, today's deep dive focuses on a specific spot on Koh Samui called Lamai.
Lamai. All right, I'm intrigued. Why Lamai? What's so special about it?
Well, Lamai is really starting to generate some buzz in the real estate world.
Oh, so we're talking about investment opportunities.
Exactly.
Or-
And to help us understand what's going on, we're looking at an article from Ocean Worldwide.
Ocean Worldwide, that name rings a bell. Are they a real estate agency?
You got it. They're a luxury real estate agency, actually, and they've been based in Phuket since 2004.
Wow, 2004. So they've been around for a while.
Yeah, long enough to get to know the market pretty well. And get this, they specialize in luxury residential real estate in both Phuket and Koh Samui.
So they're definitely the people to listen to when it comes to Lamai.
Right. And the article features some insights from Sandra O'Neill.
Sandra Meal.
Yeah, she's the director of Ocean Worldwide. The article says she's helped thousands of families and investors navigate the property market over the years.
So she really knows her stuff.
Absolutely. So, with Ocean Worldwide's expertise and Sandra O'Neill's experience behind us, we're going to try to figure out what's making Lamai such a hot spot.
Sounds like a plan. Let's dive in.
So, the first thing the article highlights is Lamai's unique allure. They talk about its really tranquil atmosphere.
Tranquil. That's interesting. What do they mean by that?
Well, they say it has this laid-back vibe that sets it apart from other areas of Koh Samui. You know, the more bustling areas.
Okay, so it's more of a peaceful retreat. I can see the appeal in that.
Yeah, especially for those looking to escape the city life, I imagine.
Absolutely. A place to unwind, relax, and maybe even retire.
Exactly. And it's not just the peaceful vibe.
Hmm.
Lamai also has these beautiful, less crowded beaches.
Beautiful and less crowded. Now you're really speaking my language.
Right, it's a win-win. And they even mention a hidden gem called Lipa Noi Beach, known for its stunning sunsets.
Oh, wow. A hidden gem beach.
Yeah, it's like something out of a travel magazine.
Yeah.
And then beyond the beaches and the tranquility, there's also a rich cultural scene.
Interesting. So it's not just a beach destination.
Not at all. The article talks about a strong sense of community and traditional Thai character. It's definitely not your typical tourist trap.
I like that. It sounds authentic.
Yeah, it's a place where you can really experience the local culture.
All right, so we've got tranquil atmosphere, beautiful beaches, and rich culture. What else is driving this real estate buzz around Lamai?
Well, the article points to a few emerging real estate trends. For example, they mention a rise in luxury property developments.
Luxury developments, huh? What are we talking about here?
Think high-end villas, private pools, breathtaking sea views, the whole 9 yards.
Wow, that sounds pretty luxurious indeed.
Yeah, it seems like Lamai is attracting a more upscale market.
Makes sense. If you're looking for a piece of paradise, you want it to be luxurious.
Exactly. And it's not just individual buyers either. There's growing demand from expats and those looking for second homes.
So a mix of people are contributing to this trend.
Absolutely. And speaking of trends, the article also highlights affordability as one of Lamai's key advantages.
Affordable luxury. That's a winning combination in my book.
Right. They say that property prices in Lamai are significantly lower compared to other prime locations on Koh Samui.
So you can get more bang for your buck?
That's the idea. A larger property, a better location, or higher quality finishes, all for a more reasonable price.
Now that's something to consider.
And this leads to a key point: the strong investment potential in Lamai.
So it's not just about finding a beautiful place to live, it's also about making a smart investment.
Exactly. The lower entry costs mean potentially higher returns, both from rental income and potential capital appreciation.
Okay, so let's talk about the rental market. What's the situation in Lamai?
Well, according to the article, it's thriving.
Thriving. Good to hear. What's driving that?
It's not just seasonal tourists. There's a growing number of long-term renters.
Long-term renters, that's interesting. Who are these renters?
Well, they mention expats and retirees, people looking for a change of pace and a more affordable lifestyle.
I see. So it's not just about vacation rentals. There's a real demand for long-term living in Lamai.
Exactly. And this consistent demand is great for investors as it provides a steady stream of rental income.
Makes sense. A diverse renter base reduces the reliance on seasonal fluctuations, which can be a major concern for some investors.
You got it. And this brings us to the role of expats in shaping Lamai's real estate market.
Okay, how are expats influencing things?
Well, the article highlights how their influx has really boosted investment in the area.
I can see that happening. When more people choose to make a place their home, it naturally drives up demand for housing and attracts investors.
Right, and it's not just about the volume of investment, it's also about the diversity of buyers they bring to the table.
Diversity is always a good thing. It adds depth and vibrancy to a community. What kind of diversity are we talking about?
Well, it seems Lamai is no longer attracting a single buyer type. You've got young professionals, families looking for a better quality of life, and retirees seeking a peaceful environment.
So it's a mix of people from all walks of life. That's a good sign for the long-term health of the market.
Absolutely. And this shift in demographics is also influencing the types of properties being developed. It's not just one size fits all anymore.
So the market is becoming more sophisticated and catering to a wider range of needs. That's a sign of a maturing real estate market.
It really is. And this evolution is being supported by improvements in accessibility and infrastructure.
That's key. You need good infrastructure to attract residents and investors. What kind of improvements are we talking about?
Well, the article mentions enhanced transport links, including better roads and proximity to the airport.
That makes a huge difference. Easy access is a major selling point for any location.
Right. And it's not just about transportation. They're also seeing a growth in local amenities.
Oh, like what?
Well, more shops, restaurants, services, those sorts of things. Basically everything you need to live comfortably.
So Lamai is becoming more self-sufficient. That's great for residents and investors alike.
Exactly. And the best part is that there are even more improvements planned for the future.
More improvements.
Like what? They're talking about further road upgrades, improved utilities, and new parks and recreational areas.
Wow, they're not slowing down. That's a great sign for anyone considering a long-term investment in Lamai. It shows a real commitment to the future of the area.
I agree. It seems like they're really trying to make Lamai a desirable place to live and invest.
Yeah, very interesting. It sounds like they're on the right track.
So it seems like Lamai is more than just a real estate opportunity. It's a place where people are actually choosing to live and build a life.
Yeah, it's not just about making money, it's about lifestyle.
Exactly. And speaking of lifestyle, let's not forget Lamai's stunning natural beauty. The article really paints a picture of what makes this place so special.
Okay, let's hear it. What are we talking about here?
Well, the beaches, of course. They mentioned Lipanoi Beach, the hidden gem we talked about earlier, as a true haven of tranquility.
Tranquility. That's a word that keeps coming up when we talk about Lamai.
It does, doesn't it? It seems like peace and quiet are a big part of Lamai's appeal.
Yeah, and when you combine that with beautiful beaches and stunning sunsets, you've got a recipe for paradise.
I agree. So tell me more about Lipanoi Beach. What's it like?
Well, they describe it as having calm waters and those breathtaking sunsets we mentioned.
I can practically feel the sand between my toes and the warm breeze on my face just thinking about it.
Sounds like a dream.
It does, doesn't it? And Lipanoi is just one of many beautiful beaches in the area.
So there's plenty of choices for beach lovers.
Absolutely. Whether you prefer a lively stretch of sand or a secluded cove, Lamai has something for everyone.
Nice. And what about for those who aren't content just lying on the beach all day? What else is there to do in Lamai?
Well, there are plenty of activities for the more adventurous types.
Okay, like what?
For example, they mentioned exploring nearby waterfalls. Apparently, the Namawang waterfalls are a short drive from Lamai.
Waterfalls. Now that's something I could get into.
Me too. There's something so magical about being surrounded by nature like that.
Yeah, it's a great way to escape the everyday world and just reconnect with nature.
Exactly. And for those who like to hike, there are numerous trails through the lush jungle surrounding Lamai.
So you can get your exercise while enjoying the beautiful scenery.
Exactly. And if water sports are your thing, there's kayaking and even rock climbing along the coast.
Rock climbing. Wow, that's a bit more adventurous than I expected.
It seems like Lamai has a surprising amount of variety when it comes to activities.
It does, doesn't it? There's something for everyone, whether you're looking to relax or get your adrenaline pumping.
Exactly. And let's not forget that laid-back vibe we talked about earlier. It's a place where you can really slow down and enjoy a simpler pace of life.
That's definitely appealing. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle.
I agree. So having a place where you can escape all that is a real luxury.
It is. And speaking of luxury, the article also highlights the growing popularity of luxury villas in Lamai.
Ah, yes, the luxury villa market. We touched on that earlier, but let's dive a little deeper. What's driving this trend?
Well, they say it's a combination of local and international investors who are looking for a blend of comfort, exclusivity, and, of course, those stunning views.
Makes sense. If you're going to invest in a luxury property, you want it to have it all.
Right. And they're not just talking about basic comforts here. These villas are decked out with everything you could imagine.
Oh, like what? Give me some details.
Well, they mention spacious living areas, infinity pools overlooking the ocean, expansive outdoor areas for entertaining, gourmet kitchens, state-of-the-art entertainment systems.
Wow, it sounds like they've thought of everything.
They really have, and some even have private gyms and spas.
It's like having your own personal resort.
Exactly. And to make things even easier, many of these developments offer property management services.
Oh, that's smart. So owners don't have to worry about the day-to-day hassle of managing the property.
Right. They can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the rental income.
Speaking of rental income, what kind of returns are we talking about here?
Well, the article says that rental yields for luxury villas in Lamai can range from 5 to 8%, depending on a few factors.
5 to 8%. That's not bad at all.
No, it's not. And you also have the potential for capital appreciation as Lamai continues to develop.
So it's a solid investment all around.
It seems that way. But of course, as with any investment, it's important to do your research and consult with experts before making any decisions.
Absolutely. And speaking of things to consider, let's talk about some of the potential challenges facing Lamai's real estate market.
Okay, what are the potential downsides?
Well, the first thing they mention is the possibility of global economic fluctuations.
Yeah, that's always a risk no matter where you invest.
Right. Economic downturns can impact tourism and foreign investment, which could affect Lamai's real estate market.
That's true, and it's something that investors need to be aware of.
Absolutely. Another challenge is competition from other emerging destinations in Southeast Asia.
So Lamai isn't the only game in town.
Not at all. There are plenty of other beautiful and affordable places to invest in the region.
So investors need to do their homework and make sure Lamai is the right fit for them.
Exactly. And finally, the article emphasizes the importance of sustainable development.
Sustainability, that's a big one these days.
It is. They talk about the need to manage growth carefully to preserve Lamai's unique character.
Yeah, it would be a shame to see Lamai lose its charm due to overdevelopment.
I agree. It's a delicate balance between progress and preservation.
It is, and it's something that developers and investors need to keep in mind.
Absolutely. So, while Lamai offers a lot of potential, it's important to approach it with a balanced perspective, understanding both rewards and the risks.
Wise words. You've got to weigh all the factors before jumping in.
Yeah, it really seems like they need to be careful not to mess things up. Lamai sounds like a really special place.
It does, and it seems like they're aware of that. I mean, throughout the article, they keep coming back to this idea of Lamai having a really distinct character. You know, like a real sense of place.
Right, like it's not just another generic island destination. They talk about how Lamai has managed to hold on to its traditional Thai charm, even with all the development happening.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're trying to find that balance between progress and preservation, which is tricky.
For sure. But it sounds like they're doing a good job so far. And that authenticity is probably a big part of why people are drawn to Lamai.
I think so. People are looking for genuine experiences, not just cookie-cutter resorts.
Right. They want something real, something with a soul. And Lamai seems to offer that.
It does, but it's not stuck in the past either. The article mentions that Lamai is attracting a new generation of residents, like young professionals and digital nomads.
Oh, interesting. So it's evolving, becoming more diverse.
Exactly. It's got this mix of old and new, which is really interesting.
It is. And I think that's what makes Lamai so unique. It's a place where tradition meets innovation.
Well said. And speaking of innovation, did you notice how they talked about sustainability in Lamai?
Yeah, I did. They mentioned that eco-friendly design is becoming more and more popular in Lamai's real estate developments.
Which makes sense. People are more aware of their impact on the environment these days.
Definitely. And it sounds like developers in Lamai are responding to that. They're using sustainable materials, incorporating energy-efficient technology, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to build in a way that respects the environment, which is great.
It is. And it's not just the developers. Buyers are also becoming more discerning. They're actively looking for properties that align with their values.
I think you're right. People are willing to pay a premium for sustainability.
Maybe. But I think it's more than just a premium. It's about making a conscious choice to live in a way that's good for the planet.
I agree. It's about aligning your actions with your values.
Exactly. And as more people choose to live that way, the demand for sustainable housing will only increase.
For sure. It's a trend that's not going away anytime soon.
Well, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive into Lamai. What do you think? Any final thoughts?
Just that it sounds like Lamai is a really special place. It's got a unique blend of tranquility, natural beauty, and a commitment to sustainability. Plus, it seems like there's some really interesting investment opportunities there.
I agree. It's definitely a place worth exploring further. And a big thanks to Ocean Worldwide and Sandra O'Neill for providing those insights. Their expertise was really helpful.
Absolutely. They gave us a lot to think about.
They did. So to anyone listening, if you're looking for a peaceful retreat, a sound investment, or maybe even both, Lamai might just be the place for you.
It's definitely worth checking out.
All right, that's it for a deep dive into Lamai's real estate market. Thanks for joining us.